Dallas Cowboys pick a tough one as they try for their first National Football League victory. The undefeated Cleveland Browns are fresh from 2 weeks rest and come into the Cotton Bowl thirsting for action in their quest for the Eastern Conference crown. The Browns show what they have in mind in their first series of plays as Milt Plum pitches a swing lateral to Bobby Mitchell. Bobby streaks through the Cowboys on a twisting 46-yard run for a Cleveland touchdown. It's 7-0 after 1 period. Milt Plum and his Browns are back at work to open the second quarter. Plum passes down and out to Gern Nagler at the Dallas 5. Jim Brown takes a handoff wide to the left, races over the goal line as his blockers clear the way. Cleveland leads the Cowboys 14-0. Eddie LeBaron tries to get something going for his Cowboys, but all he gets is grief as Galen Fiss intercepts and rolls to the Dallas 41 on a 9-yard return. Watch the blocking on this play as Plum hands off to Bobby Mitchell. The blockers mow down the Cowboys, and Mitchell prances over for the touchdown on a 30-yard play. Cleveland now owns a lofty 21-0 lead over Dallas. Once again, LeBaron tries to get the Cowboys in the saddle, but his screen pass is picked off by rookie Larry Stevens. The 248-pound tackle from Texas University takes off like a halfback to around 34 yards with a tally that helps boost the Browns into a 28-0 halftime lead. Cleveland Lightning strikes again on the kickoff of the second half. It's Dick Bielski booting for the Cowboys. Bobby Mitchell takes it as he crosses the 10, gets a nice block from Prentice Scott, evades Tom Bratz at the sideline, and runs away from everybody else on a 90-yard return. Cleveland now leads the Cowboys 35-0. Coach Tom Landry tries Don Heinrich at quarterback for the Cowboys later in the third period. And he runs into a piece of bad luck named Bernie Parrish. Bernie gets all the way to the Dallas 6 with a stolen football. Milt Plum makes it the rest of the way in one play by flipping to Gern Nagler, who trots across all by himself. The Cleveland total mounts to 42-0 over the Cowboys. Paul Brown's men are intent on rolling it up in the final period. Prentice Scott gets through the line at right guard and battles for 15 yards. Rookie Jamie Caleb takes a handoff and spins around the right side. The rookie from Grambling has his first touchdown as a pro, and the Browns lead the Cowboys 48-0. The Cowboy offense finally begins to click as Don Heinrich hits Jim Doran. The veteran end makes his way to his own 43. Heinrich has another veteran end in Billy Houghton. He sends Houghton deep and sends up a towering pass. Houghton arrives on time for a 41-yard gain. This is the Cowboys' best threat of the day. It's Heinrich to Billy Houghton again for a 12-yard touchdown. The Dallas Cowboys avert a shutout in the closing moments of the game, but are buried under an avalanche of Cleveland touchdowns as the Browns make it 3 straight with a stunning 48-7 triumph. San Francisco 49ers invade jam-packed Wrigley Field for a key Western Conference battle with the Chicago Bears. They're all tied up with Chicago, Baltimore, and Green Bay with 2 wins and a loss apiece, so this could be a big one for either team. The 49ers get off to an early start as John Brody fakes and fires to rookie end Monty Stickles for a 49er first down. Brody pitches out to his great halfback, Hugh McElhenney, and Hugh turns the corner at right end for a beautiful 23-yard gain. Joe Perry tries the Bear line. J.C. Caroline scoops up his fumble and lights out. J.C. jets away from the 49ers on a heads-up play that carries for 57 yards and a Bear touchdown. The hometown Bears delight the crowd by taking a 7-0 lead. As the first quarter ends, John Brody calls for the alley-oop pass. R.C. Owens makes a leaping catch for a 16-yard gain. But the Bear defense handcuffs Brody as the second quarter opens. Earl Leggett and Doug Atkins smother him for a 9-yard loss. The Prospectors elect to go for 3 with Tommy Davis booting. Tommy's threw from 38 yards away to make it a 7-3 game. On the very next play from scrimmage, the Bears get that back with interest. Johnny Morris skirts left end, scampers down the sideline on a 61-yard gallop that takes him all the way. It's Chicago 13, 49ers 3. Roger LeCourt kicks off for the Bears. Waiting for it is Abe Woodson, the former Illinois sprinter. Woodson turns on his vaunted speed to streak upfield for a 55-yard return that touches off a Prospector foot. A penalty puts the ball even closer. From the 6, the Prospectors send J.D. Smith smashing into the Bear line to pick up half the distance to the goal. J.D. Smith is just the man for this situation. He cuts his way through the goal line traffic for a touchdown. Prospectors pull to within 3 points of Chicago at 13-10. A stout 49er defense forces the Bears to punt, and Ed Brown sends up a short one. Abe Woodson fumbles attempting to make the catch, and Gianavini recovers for the Bears on the 49er 40. His run back is after the whistle. Bears know what to do in this situation. They give the ball to Johnny Morris. The shifty Chicagoan filters through the 49ers and ends up in the ivy on the other side of the goal line as Chicago pulls away to a 20-10 advantage at halftime. In the third quarter, Ed Brown and Will Duville team up for a new Bear record. Ed shoots a little pass over the middle to Duville, and Will takes off at full speed. Not a 49er can catch him as Duville completes a 91-yard touchdown play, the longest touchdown pass in Bear history. Bears 27, 49ers 10. That's the way it winds up as Chicago moves into a first-place Western Conference tie with the Baltimore Colts. Franklin Field, Philadelphia is the scene as Buck Shaw's Philadelphia Eagles clash with the Detroit Lions of George Wilson. 38,000 fans are on hand to see if the Eagles can stay in contention with the Browns and Giants at the expense of the victory-starved Lions. It's the Eagles striking first in the opening period as Norm Van Brocklin hits Pete Retzlaff with a quick pass. Norm's precise pitch is an early indication of what's to follow. Behind good protection, Van Brocklin fakes to his left, but sets his sights on Tommy McDonald, who arrives just in the nick of time to pull in the pass and make it all the way to the 1. Powerful Clarence Peak heads for the top of the pile and gets over for the first Eagle score. The Philadelphia team has a 7-0 lead going into the second quarter. In the second period, the Eagles move again as Clarence Peak hits his peak. This time he breaks loose on the draw play for a Philadelphia first down. Van Brocklin picks out his receiver quickly and rifles a shot to Ted Dean. The rookie back takes the bullet pass and blasts into the Lions' den for the second Eagle touchdown. The Big Birds are off and winging 14-0 with 7 minutes left in the first half. The Lions are on the prowl as the half runs out. Jim Nanowski finds Howard Cassidy by himself and feeds him the pigskin. Hopalong hot puts it for 24 yards and a Lion first down. Nanowski rolls out and throws a running pass to Nick Pietrasani. Nick finds a little running room but is finally bottled up after clipping off 28 yards. The Lions' roar is momentarily muffled, but they manage a 3-point snarl as Jungle Jim Martin tows home a 33-yard field goal. At halftime, the Eagles take a 14-3 lead into the locker room. The Eagles try to get airborne on the arm of Norm Van Brocklin in the third quarter, but Joe Schmidt intercepts the deflected pass for the Lions. The big linebacker races 17 yards to the end zone for his first pro touchdown in 8 seasons of play. The Lions are right back in the game at 14-10. Earl Morrow tries to get the Lions going as he passes in the fourth quarter, but Don Burrows turns the tables with an interception for the Eagles. Burrows returns the ball to the Lion 38. Van Brocklin, well protected in the Eagles' nest of blockers, has time to measure his throw on a 6-point pitch to Bobby Walston. The Birds bolt back to take a commanding 21-10 lead early in the final period. With the Lions unable to threaten, the Eagles strike again. A good block opens a hole for Clarence Peaks, and he takes the ball for a 49-yard ride to pay dirt. The Birds punch up 7 more points to breathe easier with a 28-10 lead. The Lions go for quick yardage as they try to retaliate. Jim Nanowski misses his receiver, but Chuck Bednarik is delighted to take charge of the ball. The veteran Eagle linebacker stamps out the Lion threat. Sonny Jurgensen gets one of his rare chances to pilot the Eagles and makes a beautiful connection with Dick Lucas. Lucas has lots of room on a pass that covers 66 yards, but the clock runs out on the Eagles' effort to rack up still another touchdown. Their big 28-10 win over the Lions keeps the Philadelphians close to the Browns and Giants as all three drive for top honors in the East.
You know, there's a secret to everything. In pass defense, it's making sure the receiver doesn't get behind you. In shaving, it's making sure you use the right lather. That's why I use Rise Instant Lather. Rise lets me shave fast, shave close, without irritation. Watch.
Here's the secret. Rise is so rich, so wet, it doesn't dry out on your face. Instead, it stays moist and creamy, keeps whiskers wet and soft all through your shave. Here's proof. See how Rise, with millions of tiny moisture-packed bubbles, soaks whiskers soft, keeps whiskers wet and soft, lets your razor cut them off at the skin line. You shave fast, shave close, without irritation. Shave with Rise. Rise Regular or Rise Menthol, now medicated. Skin-soothing, refreshingly cool.
So if you want to shave fast, shave close, without irritation, shave with Rise, a really great lather.
The world champion Colts return to their own corral in Baltimore after losing their first game of the season in Green Bay to take on the explosive Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are hoping for an upward turn in their football fortunes. After a scoreless first quarter, the Rams are roving as Dick Bass runs a halfback draw play inside left end to get to the Colts 44. The Rams go no farther, but Lou Michaels puts them on the scoreboard with a sensational 51-yard field goal to make it Rams 3, Colts nothing. The Colts counter quickly as Lenny Moore delays, then darts up the middle. The loose-legged Colt gallops through the Rams and outspeeds them all to the goal line on a 57-yard romp that puts the Baltimore team out in front 7-3. The Colts cause more trouble, and Moore is the man who does the damage. Lenny gets 18 before the Rams can stop him. Johnny Unitas goes back, passes to Raymond Berry for a first down on the Ram 19. Again, Unitas goes back as the elusive Berry runs his pattern. Berry's there and makes it to within a foot of the goal line. Lenny Moore squirms through the Rams to score his second touchdown, and the Baltimore Colts move into a 14-3 lead. That's still good when the Bands take over at the half. The Colts head for the point pasture again in the third period. Alan Amici powers for an 8-yard gain. Unitas shovels the ball out to Lenny Moore. Moore goes wide, then cuts inside to sweep all the way to the end zone on a perfect 34-yard play that represents his third touchdown. The Colts have 21 points, 18 of them Lenny's, 2-3 for Los Angeles. Frank Ryan guides the Ram attack, and he has them on the go. Frank fires to Jim Phillips at the Colt 11. John Arnett shows off his running skill on this pitch-out play. John slashes through the Colts for a classy 11-yard score. It's Colts 21, Rams 10. Lou Michaels kicks off to Johnny Sample of the Colts. Johnny has a herd of Colts with him, and he uses them to good advantage as he maneuvers upfield. Ed Meter's the last man who has a chance to nail Sample, and he does, but the Colts are on the Ram 22. Steve Myra makes Sample's effort pay off to the tune of 3 points, and it's 24-10. As the third period ends, Unitas and company are back in business. Unitas whips the ball to Art DiCarlo on a slant pattern. Johnny opens the final period by pegging a touchdown toss in his 41st consecutive game. His target is Lenny Moore. Moore's fourth touchdown gives Baltimore a cozy 31-10 lead. Billy Wade engineers a ram raid late in the game. Billy scampers around until Dick Bass gets loose. His pass is high, but Bass makes a great stab for a 26-yard gain. Wade wedges over for the final touchdown of the game. The Rams managed 2 touchdowns, but that's not enough against the Colts. By beating the Rams 31-17, the Colts remain tied with the Bears at the top of the Western Conference East. Forbes Field, which just saw the Pirates put on a heroic finish in the World Series, is ready for football as the Pittsburgh fans flock to see their Steelers tackle the St. Louis Cardinals. Each team is looking for its second victory of the season. The Steelers start things off in the first quarter with Bobby Lane passing to John Henry Johnson. Johnson rolls to the Cardinal 34. St. Louis won't yield another first down, but the Steelers manage 3 points as Bert Retchishar boots one over the bar from the 42. Another Retchishar boot makes it 6-0 after 1 period of play. It's the second quarter, and the Cardinals are on the attack. King Hill fires a fast one over the middle, but it's picked off by Dean Darby. Dean makes a nice return before he laterals to Dickie Megal. The Steelers are on the card 35. The Steelers pull some trickery with Jimmy Orr taking the ball on an end-around play. Orr gallops all the way to the St. Louis 4-yard line. Tom Tracy tries the other side, and the chunky halfback chugs into the corner for the first touchdown of the game. It's Pittsburgh 13, St. Louis nothing. It's still 13-0 going into the third quarter. Bobby Lane dodges back for the Steelers and sends a sky-high pass in the direction of Buddy Dial. Buddy's camped under it for a 36-yard gain. The slow-motion camera catches an old pro at work. Bobby Lane stays in the cup as his Steelers give him beautiful protection. He finally fires to Buddy Dial, who's slanting across the middle. Dial never loses stride as he makes the catch and scores the second Pittsburgh touchdown. It's Steelers 20, Cardinals nothing. Retchishar kicks off for the Steelers. Willie West takes it 5 yards deep in the end zone and refuses to settle for a touchback. He has blockers in front of him, and off he goes. Willie wheels through the Steelers with the greatest of ease until he trips over his own blocker after an 84-yard return. The Cardinals have a golden opportunity, but the alert Steeler defense rises to the occasion. They jar the ball loose from Frank Mesnick, and Rudy Hayes flops on it in the end zone to take over for Pittsburgh. In the final quarter, the Cards show off their quarterback option play as George Izzo flips back to John Crow. Crow takes the Steeler defense wide on a nifty 25-yard cannon. Crow puts the Cards on the scoreboard with a great bit of broken field running. Trapped at the 5, he cuts back to score. Now it's Steelers 20, Cardinals 7. Rookie quarterback George Izzo is still piloting the Cards and looking like a veteran. Watch him pinpoint Sonny Randall for a 24-yard gain that makes it goal to go. Izzo hands to Frank Mesnick, and Frank bangs across the goal line. The Cardinals move closer to the Steelers at 20-14. But the Steelers have the last word today. They trot out a favorite Buddy Parker play with halfback Tom Tracy firing a pass downfield to Jimmy Orr. Orr rumps in to polish off the 51-yard effort, and the Pittsburgh Steelers stay close to the Eastern Conference leaders by posting a log of 2 wins against 2 defeats with their 27-14 victory over the St. Louis Cards. The New York Giants, one of the 2 teams left undefeated in the National League, pick on the Washington Redskins for their home opener. If they can scalp the Skins, they can move to the top of the Eastern Conference, while the undefeated Browns have played 1 less game. A Summerall field goal has the Giants on top in the first quarter, and here they go again as Frank Gifford takes a screen pass and thunders for 24 yards to end the period. Charlie Connerly opens the second quarter by pitching to Kyle Rote on a breakout pattern, and it's goal to go Giants. Connerly hands to Frank Gifford, and Frank flashes into pay dirt for the first New York touchdown. It's 10-0 Giants after 10 seconds of the second quarter. Midway in the period, rookie Bob Kayat gets the Redskins on the board with a tremendous 50-yard field goal. Kayat's Redskin record field goal makes it 10-3. Shaw is at the controls as the Giants move near the end of the half. Shaw aims for Frank Gifford, but Washington's Pat Heenan is a little too ambitious in breaking up the play, and interference is called. The clock has run out, but the rules give New York 1 more play. It's a break for the Giants, and Shaw converts it into points by flipping to Rote for the score. At halftime, it's New York 17, Washington 3. In the third quarter, the Skins come alive. Guglielmi hands to Johnny Olszewski, and Johnny O darts around end to the Giant 18. Guglielmi's playing with a fever from a virus infection, but Redskin Ralph looks mighty cool here as he hits Dick James. James scrambles all the way to the 2. Don Bosler comes wide, uses the goalpost for a blocker, and gets across for a Redskin tally. The Skins creep closer at 17-10. The Giants move to make their 4th straight victory safe, with Frank Gifford breaking through the line and gouging out a first down on the Redskin 10. It's Gifford again, driving straight ahead to score. At the end of the third quarter, New York leads the Redskins 24-10. In the final period, the ailing Guglielmi never looked better as he engineers a heart-stopping Redskin comeback. This pass finds Joe Walton at the Giant 10. Guglielmi slides back, finds no one open, and takes off. Ralph races around end to make it goal to go, and the New York 1. Johnny O goes up and over for the touchdown. The Skins trail by 7 points at 24-17. Desperate for possession of the ball, the Redskins try an onside kick, and the gamble pays off. Jim Patton tries to pick up the ball, fumbles, and Vince Promuto grabs it for the Skins. Guglielmi goes right back to work. He's rushed, but he gets the ball away, and New York is called for interference on its own 24. It's a first down for the Redskins. Again, Guglielmi retreats, looking for a receiver. He spots Jim Podoli, and Jim grabs it on the Giant 13. With 25 seconds left on the clock, Guglielmi goes for 6 as he fires to the end zone. Jim Podoli's there, and the Washington Redskins earn a final second 24-24 tie to ruin New York's perfect record. The Giants are now 3-0-1 in their attempt to repeat as conference champions.
I remember the day Three-Ring Pete was riding shotgun on a stagecoach when a band of desperados swooped down. We gotta save the shipment, yells Pete, and starts slinging lead. The driver says,
Things look mighty black.
but then Pete spies a cavalry troop high up on the prairie bluff. Gotta get their attention, he thinks. Well, sure, I'll just sing out.
Hey, get Jacobia. Hey, get your Valentine beer.
Jumping Jehoshaphat. Them soldiers come a-galloping and captured them renegades. So Pete broke into the cargo of Valentine beer, the crisp refresher. And soon they was all singing.
Valentine beer is icily light, smooth and delicious, precisely right, lively golden, crystally clear, the crisp refresher. Valentine beer.
The Chicago Bears head westward to try to improve on their 3-1 slate as they take on the winless but always dangerous Los Angeles Rams in the Coliseum. The Bears won in their first meeting in Chicago. The Rams move early in the contest as Frank Ryan hits Jim Phillips on a breakout pass at the Bear 9. Los Angeles gets close, and Ollie Matson climbs over the line to give the hometown flock the only score of the first period. Rams 7, Bears nothing. The second quarter finds the Rams on the rampage, but not for long. Frank Ryan's pass is picked off by Richie Pettibon on the Los Angeles 33. The Bears fail to get any closer, but John Avini gets them in the ball game as he boosts a perfect placement from 32 yards out to make it 7-3. The Rams return with Joe Marconi getting off the blocks like an Olympic sprinter. Joe keeps his balance for a 25-yard dash. Marconi tries the other side and finds more daylight. Joe journeys for 32 yards before going out of bounds to stop the clock. Only 8 seconds remain in the half as Danny Villanueva connects with a 12-yard field goal. The Rams now enjoy a 10-3 lead at halftime. The Bears begin to growl in the third quarter. Johnny Morris sweeps wide on a pitch out. Chicago's freewheeling halfback high steps his way for 18 yards. Zeke Pretkowski drops back and fires complete to Angie Koya, who makes a diving catch at the Ram 24. Pratt makes the most of his opportunity to show off. He pitches a perfect strike to Will Duville. The big Bear end steps in for the tally, and it's all even as both teams posted 10 points on the scoreboard. It's the Rams' turn now. Ryan sends a scorcher at Jim Phillips. Jim hangs on for a first down deep in the lair of the Bears. Ryan continues to ram the Bears as he hits Glendon Thomas in the corner of the end zone. The Rams go ahead after 3 quarters, 17-10. The Bears bid to get even in the last quarter. Bratkowski shoots a dart to Will Duville. Will is held up at the Ram 35. Zeke continues to fleece the Rams as he teams with Jim Dooley to bring the Bears 20 yards closer. Bratkowski completes the mission with a pitch to Angelo Koya at the goal line. The Bear rookie's touchdown evens the count at 17 all. Moments later, the Bears are in their own backyard as Zeke Pretkowski passes. Ed Meter intercepts and picks a clear pass to pay dirt. Los Angeles rooters cheer the Rams 24-17 edge. Time grows short for the Bears as they fight for survival. Bratkowski hurls to Will Duville for a 40-yard gain. Bratkowski backpedals and hits Angelo Koya. Koya shakes free from a Ram defender and rockets in to score. The Bears tie the Rams 24-24 in a seesaw thriller that puts Chicago in second place in the Western Conference race. The Dallas Cowboys really roughing it in the tough National Football League. Right into Busch Stadium, St. Louis, seeking their first victory of their inaugural season at the expense of the transplanted Cardinals. The game is only minutes old when Cowboy quarterback Eddie LeBaron spots Jim Dorn with a pass good for 16 yards. The Cowboys ambush the Cards with a draw play. L.G. Dupre shuffled through the Cards for more yards as Dallas nears the score. From 25 yards out, Fred Cohn splits the uprights with an end-over-end boot, and Dallas is first on the board with a 3-0 first quarter lead. L.G. Dupre tries to give the boys from Big D a little running room after a Cardinal punt puts them in a deep hole. Now watch in slow motion as the Cardinals red dog the bootlegging LeBaron. The little passer has no alternative but to eat the ball as linebacker John Tracy hauls him down in the end zone for a safety. Dallas 3, St. Louis 2. Now the Cardinals are moving with the ball in Cowboy country. John David Crow goes down trying to elude tacklers, but not before peeling off a 20-yard gain. The Cards send their one-man battering ram, John Crow, twisting over left guard to the Dallas 18. It's Crow carrying and crowding the Cowboys for still more of their range. The slow-motion camera affords a revealing look at this Cardinal scoring sortie. Crow plows through a huge opening for the first touchdown of the game. At halftime, St. Louis is on top over the Cowboys by 9-3. It's still 9-3 in the final period as LeBaron saddles up the Cowboys with a pass to Bill Houghton, who steps out on the Cardinal 42. Let's x-ray this play in slow motion. L.G. Dupre swings up the middle and latches on to Eddie LeBaron's flip pass. L.G. roams the range for a few yards of his own before the Cardinals can rope him on their 3-yard strike. With goal to go, Dupre takes the handoff and caroms into pay dirt for a Cowboy counter. With a successful conversion attempt, Dallas takes a slender 10-9 advantage over the Cardinals. A Cowboy fumble gives the Cards a chance, and they try to make it pay off with a draw play that springs Frank Mesnick for 9 yards to the Dallas 30. Cardinal signal caller John Roach finds Crow with a pass, and St. Louis is a dozen yards deeper in Dallas territory. With 43 seconds left to play, Jerry Perry kicks an 18-yard field goal that rockets the Cardinals into a 12-10 come-from-behind margin that they hold for the last few seconds. It's a bitter blow for the Cowboys, who have seen a couple of other cliffhangers go against them in their first season. Vince Lombardi's Green Bay Packers, acting very much like Western Conference contenders, trot onto the turf at Milwaukee County Stadium to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers before a near sellout crowd of better than 39,000 fans. The first time they get the ball, the Packers hand to their fullback sensation, Jim Taylor. Jim sets a hot pace for 32 yards before the prospectors can shove him out of bounds. After getting a nice boost on a penalty, Green Bay calls on Taylor again. Jim slashes straight ahead for a first down on the 49er 20. Paul Hornung catapults into the clover at the scoring end of an 80-yard drive, and the Green Bay Packers have themselves a 7-0 lead midway in the first period. The 49ers can only hold the ball for 4 downs, and it's Green Bay's turn again. Lamar McCann whips the ball to Max McGee, who makes a rolling catch at his own 48. Packer push carries all the way with Lamar McCann picking up the final 12 yards on a slant pass to Max McGee. At the end of the first quarter, Green Bay holds sway with a 14-0 lead over San Francisco. In the middle of the second period, Paul Hornung fattens the Packer margin by 3 points with a 47-yard field goal as Green Bay begins to outdistance the prospectors. Before the end of the half, the Packers are at it again. Lamar McCann hustles straight back and looks for McGee. Max is there to grab it for a 21-yard play. Tom Moore gets the ball, and with Fred Thurston leading the way, takes off for the place where they keep the points. Tom makes it into the end zone to close out the first half by helping the Packers into a 24-0 lead over San Francisco. In the third quarter, the Packers have upped it to 27-0 as the 49ers begin to travel. Y.A. Tittle triggers a toss to his big rookie end, Monty Stickles. 49er fullback J.D. Smith gets his 200 pounds into violent motion and keeps moving on a 7-yard sweep that makes it goal to go. Kittle dances back and back some more as the Packers apply the pressure. Y.A. suddenly shoots a pass into the end zone, and J.D. Smith has it for the score. It's a 27-7 game. Packers, McCann, and McGee go into their act again. Max gives chase to the deflected pass and bags it for a 30-yard gain. As the fourth period opens, McCann can't seem to see anyone but McGee. Max is there, and it's goal to go. Paul Horning lands on the other side of the goal line, and still another Packers 6-pointer. The total now reads Packers 34, 49ers 7. The 49ers get something going as they send J.D. Smith wide. J.D. jars to a first down on the Packer 25. Kittle comes back and tosses over the middle to Monty Stickles, and the 49ers move closer to their second score as they try to narrow the gap. Kittle and Owens work their alley-oop play in reverse. Owens practically digs the ball out of the dirt to ring up a counter for the Bay Area boys. It's Packers 34, 49ers 14. But the Packers aim to keep this one sewed up. Lou Carpenter takes the ball on a double reverse and hightails it for the prospector claim. Before they can stop him, Lou has loped to a 24-yard gain. Tom Moore plunges through a beautiful opening to score the final touchdown in a great Green Bay victory. The Packers move into first place in the Western Conference by beating the San Francisco 49ers 41-14, and a touch of pennant fever begins to flicker in Dairyland.
Keep thinking to myself how good it is, how bright it is, how right it is. Keep thinking to myself how much I like it. Label, black label, Carling, black label it is, how bright it is, how bright it is. Keep Carling, nice label beer. It's Carling Black Label beer. I like it.
Just one taste will tell you more than all the words you've heard before.
Keep Carling, how much I like it. Carling Black Label beer. Black Label Carling, Black Label beer. Keep thinking you'll like it too.
The Pittsburgh Steelers journey to Washington's Griffith Stadium in search of their third victory of the season, but the Redskins, who tied the mighty New York Giants last week, are beginning to look mighty tough. In the first quarter, the Redskins are rolling as Ralph Guglielmi sends up a pass. Jim Pinoli pulls it down for a first down on the Steeler 10-yard line. Three plays later, fullback Johnny Olszewski swings left and knifes his way over tackle for a Redskin touchdown, and Washington takes an early 7-0 lead. Now it's Pittsburgh's turn. Tom Tracy takes Rudy Bukich's handoff and starts around the left side. The area becomes flooded with Redskins, so Tom changes direction. The maneuver pays off for the Steelers as Tracy rambles for 37 yards to the Redskins' 45. Bukich makes a good fake into the line and throws a swing pass out to Tracy. Tom has it, and the hard-running Steeler travels into the end zone for the touchdown, and Pittsburgh has tied it up at 7 points apiece. Both teams had a field goal in the second period to make it 10-all. In the third stanza, Guglielmi is still throwing, but the Steeler forward wall storms through. Guglielmi fumbles. Joe Louis pounces on the pigskin in the end zone, and the Steelers have a quick touchdown as they take over the lead 17-10. The Redskins are still full of determination as Ralph Guglielmi keeps throwing passes. Here he hits Joe Walton for 18 yards. former Notre Dame All-American, drops back again and lets fly with another aerial. This pass has touchdown written on it as Walton pulls it in and goes for the score. With a conversion, the count is once again balanced. Now it's 17-17. In the final period of play, Guglielmi has the Redskins on the rampage as he fires to Bill Anderson. This touchdown pass makes the score 24-17 in favor of the Skins. The Steelers add a field goal, but Washington still leads 24-20. The lead is short-lived as Rudy Bukic heaves a bomb complete to Buddy Dial, and Pittsburgh goes right back out in front, 27-24. The Redskins still have time late in the fourth quarter as Guglielmi gets off a pass, which Ed Verb gathers in. It's not close enough for a touchdown, but hot-footed Bob Kayat boots the ball between the uprights for a neat 43-yard field goal, which puts the final score on the board and earns the Skins a 27-27 tie with the Steelers. It's the second tie in 2 weeks for the Redskins, who are still looking for their second win of the season as they remain in fifth place behind the Steelers. The Detroit Lions, winless in 3 tries, invite the defending champion Baltimore Colts into their Motor City den. The Colts are going after their 4th win in 5 games. The Lions get on the board in the first period as Jim Martin sends home a booming 52-yard field goal, the longest of his career, and the Lions lead 3-0. The Colts are quick to return the favor as Steve Myra tries one from 48 yards out. Steve's boot is perfect, and it's Colts 3, Lions 3 at the quarter mark. The Lions open the second period as Jim Danowski drops back and fires complete to Gail Cogdell. Cogdell carries through the Colts for 55 yards to the Baltimore 5. Hopalong Cassidy darts over left tackle and fights his way in for the touchdown. The Lions enjoy a 10-3 edge. Johnny Unitas is at the reins as the Colts storm back. Unitas fires down the middle to Raymond Burry for 21 yards. Mr. Unitas fakes beautifully, then throws out on the left flat to Burry. Raymond stretches for every last inch as the Colts stampede into the den of the Lions. Unitas almost fakes our camera on this one as he throws for Burry. Raymond does a half twist on one leg and hangs on for one of his most sensational catches as the Colts pull even at 10-10. The Colts try all their tricks as they bid for the lead. Unitas takes a lateral from Billy Pricer and fires complete to Raymond Burry. Raymond teases the Lions as he picks up a first down on the Lion 41. The Lions apply a strong rush, but Unitas sidesteps and connects with Jim Mutchler and pay dirt. The Colts are in front by a 17-10 margin at halftime. After intermission, the angry Lions roar again as Nanowski throws to Jim Gibbons. Jim gets 35 yards before Johnny Sample edges him out of bounds. Lion blockers make a highway for Nick Pietrasani, and the Detroit Steamroller paves a pass for 30 yards to the Baltimore 3. Nanowski calls his own number as he streaks past the stunned Colts and in for the score. The hungry Lions eat heartily as they even the score at 17 after 3 quarters. In the final period, Jim Martin loads the cannon in his right leg and takes aim on the goalpost 51 yards away. The ball hits the crossbar and bounces through for 3 as the Lions get back on top 20-17. Chesapeake Bay boys try to get going, but Jungle Jim Martin is at it again. Jim crashes into Unitas, causing a fumble, and the Lions take over. Danowski fades back to pass, but Ordell Brassey breaks loose and horse collars the Lion leader for a 13-yard loss. The Lions grow lean, but Jim Martin's only 40 yards away from a field goal. Martin makes it with room to spare, and Detroit adds 3 more to lead 23-17. Johnny Unitas and the Colts try to come from behind, but Dick Night Train Lane derails the attempt. The 9-year defensive ace sprints 80 yards untouched to put the icing on the cake as the Lions pull the upset of the season to earn their first victory at the expense of the world champion Colts, who now must scramble to stay in the thick of the Western Conference race.
Here's Ray Berry, Baltimore Colts champion pass receiver and all-pro end, showing young Don Doyle how to pull off the tricky button hook play. Oh, just misses.
Hey, you still using that greasy kid stuff on your hair?
Sure, why not?
Because Vitalis keeps your hair neat all day without grease. I'll show you. Use your greasy stuff. I'll use my Vitalis. Give it a good workout. Now comb. Okay, let's compare combs. Look at the grease on your comb. You can even feel the grease. Not Vitalis. Come on, get this greasy kid stuff out of your hair, then get with Vitalis. You'll never look greasy on the job or on a date. In fact, try the Vitalis 60-second workout. Your scalp will feel great. Your hair will look great. What did I tell you? Vitalis keeps your hair neat all day without grease. Prevents dryness, too.
Almost 65,000 Cleveland Browns fans are massed in windswept Municipal Stadium to watch their undefeated heroes tangle with the Philadelphia Eagles, whose only loss was a 41-24 shellacking at the hands of these same Browns. The Eagles are fighting to stay alive in the Eastern Conference race. The Big Birds are out to prove that today will be different. Norm Van Brocklin emphasizes just how different as he passes on the Eagles' first play from scrimmage. Bobby Walston makes the catch in full stride, keeps his balance, and scores on a 49-yard play. Eagles 7, Cleveland nothing. The stunned Browns recover to get 3 points on a field goal, and they're on their way again with Bobby Mitchell coming wide and working his way through the Eagle defenders for 21 yards as the first quarter ends. In the second period, it's 3rd and 7 as Milt Plum fades and fires for 6. Jordan Egler's all alone, but he drops the ball. It's a bad break for the Browns. Sam Baker salvages 3 points with a 23-yard field goal, and Cleveland trails by just 1 point at 7-6. It looks as if this might be a drum-tight defensive struggle until the Browns break things wide open. Plum retreats to his 3, hoists the ball to Leon Clark. Clark has Jim Carr beaten and keeps him that way as he leads the parade to the goal line. The 86-yard play boosts the Browns into a 12-7 lead. After holding the Eagles twice, Cleveland is driving late in the half. Milt Plum's under tremendous pressure from the Eagle blitz, but he manages to find Bobby Mitchell for an 18-yard gain. Tom Brookshire dumps Bobby out of bounds. With 5 seconds remaining in the first half, Sam Baker boots a 44-yard placement over the bar, and Cleveland fans smell victory as the Browns lead 15-7 after 30 minutes of play. The first time they get the ball in the third quarter, the Browns rock the Eagles by giving it to Jim Brown. A little room is all the great fullback needs as he shakes off every attempt to stop him on a 71-yard touchdown run that widens the Cleveland lead to 22-7. But nothing discourages the Big Birds today. They work the draw play to near perfection as Clarence Peake bursts into the open, weaves his way downfield behind a nice block by Tommy McDonald on a 57-yard run that makes it goal to go. Billy Barnes burrows into the pile to pick up the final yard. The Eagles are on the way back as they narrow the gap to 22-14. After stopping the Browns in 4 downs, the Eagles engineer another lightning strike, and Brocklin's pass travels 59 yards in the air, but Tommy McDonald's under it to land in the end zone for the score. The score is a tense 22-21. On the final play of the third period, the Eagles go for the lead. Pete Retzlaff fields Van Brocklin's pass and gets to the Cleveland 8. Van Brocklin executes a nice fake, then flips to Billy Barnes, and the big halfback has it for the score. The Birds complete their comeback by taking a 28-22 lead. Now the Browns hit the comeback trail. Milt Plum rolls out and throws to Bobby Mitchell. Bobby dodges down the sideline for a 33-yard gain. The Eagles have contained him on outside runs, but he's been murder on short passes. With the Eagles stacked up to stop Brown at the middle, Plum steps back and passes to Mitchell, and Cleveland regains the lead in this thrilling struggle. It's 29-28. The Eagles are fighting both the Browns and the clock now. Van Brocklin gets them off and flying from their 10 with a pass to Pete Retzlaff, good for 27 yards. With just seconds left, Van Brocklin hurries back and hurls over the middle. It's intercepted by Bobby Franklin, but the officials have detected interference with the Eagles receiver, and the Birds are still alive. In a heart-stopping finish, Bobby Walston boots a 38-yard field goal that barely clears the bar with 16 seconds left in the game, and the Eagles win. It's a big victory for the Birds in one of the greatest battles in the National Football League since the 1958 championship game. The Eagles triumph 31-29 to stay in the thick of the Eastern Conference championship race.